Introducing Oakley Meta Vanguard, the new performance AI glasses designed for athletes. With hands-free capture on an action-ready ultra-wide camera, powerful open-ear speakers, and built-in Meta AI that syncs with your Garmin devices for real-time insights while you train. Take your performance to the next level with Oakley Meta Vanguard. Athletic intelligence is here. Learn more on meta.com.
Sean Bean and Connie Nielsen star in Robin Hood, a timeless legend reimagined, where allegiances are tested and kingdoms hang in the balance. The saga begins with a double episode premiere November 2nd, only on MGM+.
The Go Rout has been huge. The fact that we have the huddle sideline, which uploads things automatically, so we get to go straight from the practice field into the meeting room, and there's efficiency and all that we do, and that's, I think, has played a major role in our success this year.
Welcome to The Art of Practice, presented by Go Rout, where we take you inside the practices that define great programs. Today, we're joined by one of the most respected coaches in high school football, Kevin Wright, who's the head coach of Carmel High School in Indiana. Coach Wright's resume speaks for itself, a four-time state champion with stops at Warren Central, IMG Academy, and Indiana University. He's returned to Carmel, where previously he led the Greyhounds to a state title in 2011 and runner-up finishes in 2013 and 14. Under his leadership, Carmel once again has become a model of precision and tempo, topping Go Rout's national leaderboard the past 2 weeks with 1,942 practice reps, followed by 1,563 practice reps, all powered by the Go Rout technology. In this episode, we're going to explore what Coach Wright does to create efficient practices and take advantage of the technology available. So let's get into it. Coach Wright, thanks for joining us here.
Yeah, excited to be on, and I wouldn't have known those numbers had you not told me that. So just don't tell our kids that we're running that many plays in practice. I mean, Go Rout's been just a big part of what we're able to do. And had I not just heard those numbers come out of your mouth, I would have said, no way are we running that many plays. But it's one of those things where we always talk to our kids that we want the game to be easier than practice. And, you know, we have been able to play at a high tempo offensively and defensively. And again, it all goes back to how you prepare your kids, and some of that gets down to what are you able to do in the amount of time that you have to do it in during the course of the week. And so practice for us is highly important. As we talked a little bit earlier off the air, I mean, we start on Monday, and Monday's our full padded day, and kind of go from there. But it's been a lot of fun so far, and we've got one more regular season game, and then we'll start the playoffs in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing when you look at well-run practices, I mean, you have to find ways to be efficient. And I talked with Casey Teagarden, who you work with back at Indiana earlier this year on the podcast, and he explained using it there, and it's something that he would never do without, that it's just become such a big part of the workflow and how you're able to create practices that serve your team best. I mean, ultimately, you want guys moving, you want to be efficient with their time, your time, and the numbers obviously speak for themselves. You guys are running an insane amount of practice reps. Now, we will point out, you told me you have 25 of the Go Rout sets, and that's so that you guys run it like a college practice. You're fortunate enough to have a lot of guys and run an offense on one side of the field and defense and their scout team on the other side of the field.
Correct. I mean, and really, like I said earlier, that we actually have a period at the end of the practice, a good on good period where we get another 24 to 30 reps, which we don't use Go Routes in. But it's been a game changer, and not just for our kids, but also for our coaches. And I was trying to explain this to them, how it worked, how it would make things almost the seamless transition from what you do preparing during the weekend, and how that would help us once we got the cars done, got things ready that we could upload, how that made practice on a daily basis just go really quick. So it's been one of those things that, yes, when I was in Indiana, we used it, and I saw how it was done. I was just really impressed with how quickly we were able to run plays and without any issues from the scout team on the offensive side and the defensive side. So it's been a blessing that we were able to get our administration to buy into it and make the investment, and, you know, it's paid off.
So you guys are heading into the final week of your regular season in Indiana. There's a bye week, and then you start your playoffs. And looking at how things have adjusted as you've hit this later part of the season, what things are different in your practice? What things are adjusted to just pay attention to? You've got kids who have been out there since August, really even before that in the summer.
Yeah, I mean, and we talked about this as a staff, how do you really adjust practice as you get a little bit closer to playoffs? And really the one thing that we've done, and there's two major things, but the one thing that we've done is we've cut that good on good period that we've had at the end of the practice where we got our one offense against our two defense and our two defense against our one offense. So kind of eliminated those 24 reps to take not just the workload, but just the physicality and the beating that you get to the course of a 3-month season, which is kind of where we're at. And so I think that's probably the one thing that we've done. The scout reps are the same, but just taking that physical load off them, which I think internally probably takes a mental load off when they know that there's a little bit less that they're going to have to get after at the end of practice. But the other thing, and we're really fortunate, we have a brand new indoor complex that we've done is Monday, we're going in the indoor regardless. And the indoor gives us the ability just to focus, a lot less distractions. We've got 2 hours and 15 minutes that we're going to get things done. And the kids know it. We're not worried about anything other than just football. And I think that's huge. And then we go out Tuesday and Wednesday, just like we always have. And then Thursday is basically our walk through, jog through. It's an hour deal with helmets. And we go back in the indoor on Thursday. So it's something we don't do till the end of the year, till we get ready for prep for the playoffs, and something that the kids actually enjoy. It's a change of pace. We can play music if we want to, if the head coach is in that mode, and kind of get the vibe turned up. But I think just kind of those two change-ups really help us just in regards to it is a grind. We always talk about football as a grind. It's the one sport anymore where you practice about 10 times more than you ever play games. So you got to do some things a little bit differently. And I think you got to take care of their bodies and their minds as well.
Coach, I think the other aspect of all the reps that you guys are able to get in, not just the preparation of the guys who are going to be out under the lights on the Friday night, but the scout team, those are developmental reps. Your guys are out there playing football. It's not under the lights like the varsity guys, but they're getting those reps. And again, it's become exponential. And you think about how these reps stack up over the course of the season compared to when you had to go stand in the huddle with a scout card, bring everybody in, where now it's just bang, bang. Now they're getting better at playing football.
100%. I mean, and we've seen that and how well our JV team has played and the amount of reps that they're getting in practice, because at the end of the day, the card just help you expedite the scheme. And whether most teams that we're going to play are going to run some type of zone concept, which our offensive linemen, from our seniors to our younger kids, they understand that. They look at the card, hey, it's inside zone. So, it's just really expediting some of the things that they've been taught. But I think the fact that we are able to get those reps in and we tape everything. And so one thing that we do, and I don't know if this is unique or not, but when we go into our meetings before practice and after practice, if we're going into our offensive meeting, it's the first two offenses and the scout team defense. So they get to watch themselves too, and they're critiquing themselves. Their coaches are back there with the scope. We do that on both sides of football. So again, it's multiplying the opportunities to improve. And now it's not just the 22 guys, the first offense, the first defense. It's the first 3 or 4 offenses and defenses, the top 66 to 80 kids in your program. They're getting reps on a daily basis that are meaningful reps. They're getting taped, and then they can go back and evaluate themselves on the tape as well after practice. So it's been a huge win-win.
Yeah, I like how you said you have your coaches in there too, and I think that is somewhat unique. I mean, we talked to a lot of coaches on the podcast. I don't think I've heard anybody talk about that part of it, of having those guys coached up in those meetings as well. Obviously, our attention is always for what's going out under the lights on Friday night, but think about having those guys and being able to pay attention to what they're doing as well. It just goes to their development, because someday that's going to be them, right? A couple years down the road, those guys get the opportunity.
100%. I mean, for example, we're sitting in the meeting last night after practice, because we go straight from the practice field into the locker room, and our tape is already uploaded within 10 minutes of ending practice, and we're watching tape. And I think the really neat thing about it is I'm able to praise some of those. I'm usually in the offensive meeting, so I'm able to praise some of those scout team defensive linemen for what they're doing. And I think that goes a long way when you're a sophomore, scout team defensive lineman, and the head coach is sitting in a meeting with the first team, second team offense, and he's praising you for your effort. So it's one of those things I catch myself a lot of times getting excited for those guys as much as I am maybe getting upset because we didn't come off on a combo to the second level linebacker. So that's something that's been really good for us and something that I've done for years. And I do think it pays huge dividends because, yes, so those guys that are playing scout team, a lot of time they're younger guys. And at some point, maybe it isn't even next year, maybe it's the following year, maybe it's their senior year. It becomes a program thing. And the other thing that we do that's cool, our scout team players of the week, they wear the black jerseys. You get these special jerseys. So when you go watch those films, they're standing out as well. So all that's important, I think, when you're trying to build a culture and a family atmosphere.
Definitely. Coaches, if you're looking to maximize reps and create game-like tempo in practice, look no further than Go Rout. With instant play call delivery, real-time adjustments, and seamless integration within your existing playbooks, Go Rout allows your team to get the most out of every rep. Visit GoRout.com today to see how top programs across the country are using it to level up their practices. The third phase is obviously important. And like you said, you have enough kids, you can run it college style. You have both ends of the field. What does a special teams period look like for you guys? And are you using the technology there as well?
Yeah, I mean, we have not got to the point yet. We're going to, but special teams is, again, it's just like we did at the collegiate level. I mean, we have 4 different special teams periods. We have drill period. We're emphasizing on Monday and Tuesday. We're doing punt team on Monday. We're doing kickoff team on Monday. And then we're doing kickoff team drill work, punt team drill work. We're basically utilizing 4 different periods. And then every day of the week, we're doing field goal, extra point, field goal block every day. I mean, that's a 5-minute period for us. It's that important. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, we do a comprehensive. So we haven't got to that point where we're doing that. I think if we really need, after this year, maybe we can get our admin to buy us some more Go Routes, because that would enable us to have a set that's just designated for those scout team players and they're ready to go, as opposed to trying to get in and change them in and out like we do when we're in our scout periods offensively and defensively.
Coach, as your team gets into the playoffs, and you've had a lot of teams that have made deep playoff runs, what do you feel are the most important things to keep these younger guys engaged for them now in the regular season? There's a game at the end of the week that they could play in. There's no JV games in the playoffs. So how do you keep those guys engaged and make sure they understand how important they are to the program? You don't want that situation where you see their performance in practice, which you said is important, dropping off.
Yeah, I mean, we are able to, when we get to the playoffs, we're able to dress 85 players, which for us, that still means that we've got another 50 that don't get addressed, upperclassmen. So what we do is that we reward those guys. And again, most people aren't going to do this, but like I spent a lot of times going back and watching our tape and studying our scout team players, who's doing a great job, who's there every day, who's getting after it. So the reward is those guys that might not usually get on the bus, they get on the bus. Or they might not usually get to run through the tunnel on a home game, they get to run through the tunnel. And that's a big deal at our place, and we make it a big deal. So the fact that there's always that last 10 to 12 guys who get to make the travel list, home and away, that's an open-ended deal, that I could make that. I think that really helps motivate kids to go out and practice hard. Again, I think the other thing is that peer-to-peer relationship that our offensive guys have with our scout team defense and our defensive guys have with our scout team offense.
Yeah, how important is the back and forth between the players to make sure that, especially those older guys, are communicating that, are showing them that you're appreciated for what you do?
That's huge. I mean, I don't know, and I know you've been in coaching for a long time as well. I mean, have you ever had a great team that wasn't connected? The answer is no. I mean, great teams are always connected. It doesn't matter the sport. They're connected and they communicate. That's on the field and off the field. And when you got a big program, and big is always relative, but we count freshmen, we have 220 some players in our program. It's important that seniors know the younger kids' names. And one of the easiest ways to get to know someone's name is to stand out, right? I mean, it's for those younger kids to stand out when they hear the head coach either announce their name as scout team player of the week or in a film session, as we've alluded to. But I think you're always trying to develop next year's team while you're trying to win with this year's team. And it's just little things that you can do, and nothing's original, everything's stolen. So you're always trying to figure out when you go to clinics or you talk to coaches, what can I do? And really, the Go Route has been huge. The fact that we have the huddle sideline, which uploads things automatically, so we get to go straight from the practice field into the meeting room and watch an intercut inside drill or 7-on-7 or team period. The efficiency of practice, and parents appreciate that as well. I mean, there's efficiency in all that we do, and that's, I think, has played a major role in our success this year.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you taking time with us here during game week, and certainly we'll be following you. Best of luck to you and the Panthers here in the playoffs, and maybe we get you back here postseason to talk a little ball.
That'd be great, Keith. Great to talk with you. And again, Go Rout's been awesome for me, but at the end of the day, we're all trying to find ways to do things better. So hopefully some people, and I think we may be one of the only schools in the state of Indiana. I know Ohio has a ton of them, in Texas. I hope that people catch on, because I think this technology at some point is probably going to be implemented on game days. I think they might even be doing that in Texas at this point. So yeah, appreciate the time.
Today's episode was presented by Go Rout, the leader in real-time practice technology. Go Rout just surpassed 5 million total plays sent, a testament to the coaches and programs who trust their mission to maximize every rep. Learn more and see why top programs rely on Go Rout to prepare faster and smarter at GoRout.com.